Hi, hello everyone, welcome to the channel one more time. Today we are with Sama. She's from England and she wants to share with us the subject autism. Hello, Sama. How old are you, Sama?
I'm 46.
46. How was your childhood?
It was very interesting. My mum was brought up here, but then she was married in India to my dad, who was an army officer. So in India, we grew up travelling a lot, and then we'd come to England every year to meet my grandparents. So I had a few months, maybe a month here every year, and then lots of different places we used to live in India, move around a lot. And then when I was 13, I came to live with my grandparents here.
In England?
In England, yeah.
How was your adolescence here?
Bit lonely. So I was here. So my life was all in India. I used to go to boarding school, an army boarding school. So my family were there, like they were my family, my friends. And then I came here without saying goodbye to them because it was like, oh, we're moving, and I had to live with my grandparents during my adolescence. So I didn't really know them, and it was all a bit lonely and a bit strange. But I loved being in England. Was very interesting because I got to see new things, learn new things. I used to go back to India every year for 6 weeks. All my holidays were spent. I still listen to Indian music and watched Indian films. So mixed.
What did you learn from both stages, in your childhood and during your adolescence?
Childhood was free and it was adventurous, and there was nothing that you had to fear. Like there were new things that you could adapt to really quickly, and new worlds and new lives, and you'd meet new people and go to new places, and it was rich and it was interesting. And then my life here was completely the opposite. It was one house with a family I didn't really know. I didn't know my grandparents, hardly spoke, new country, didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything. It's all a bit like contrast, massive contrast.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Do you have children?
I have two daughters, 15 and 11.
One of your child is autistic.
Yeah.
What level of autism she has?
So hers is quite severe. So she's non-verbal, so she can't speak or sign or has no words at all. And she has a lot of intellectual disabilities. So she can't even look at a picture because there are different ways of communicating. So she can't even look at a picture to tell you what she wants. She can point at things, or she can give you things to say, like she might give me my phone to say, I want to watch YouTube. But she can't, or she might go to the toilet because she wants to go, but she can't tell me. So her level of disability intellectual disability is quite severe. Physically, she's okay, but she can't go up steps one step after the other, like toddler, one after the other. She can't dress herself or brush her teeth or do her hair, no self-care. And someone's got to be with her all the time. Yeah.
How has this experience been?
Different phases. So autism is a developmental disability. So you don't know. So it's not so when they're when you're pregnant, there are no tests for it. There's nothing, not like Down syndrome where you do a test and it's not that kind of thing. So when she was born, she was my first one, and I really wanted a child. I was like, oh, my heart was there. But she didn't meet the milestone. So her head was floppy for years. No, not for years, for months. She didn't smile on time. She didn't crawl on time. All those things that children do naturally. She was late on everything. So already you don't know what the problem is. And I didn't know much about disabilities. I didn't know about child development. I could just see it was harder than it should have been, but I thought maybe it was me. I wasn't a good enough parent. Maybe I was doing something wrong. So as your first child, you don't know, and in England especially, you don't grow up with joint families, so you don't see lots of children. You go to, you're a child and then you have a child, because there's no big families where you, like in India, lots of different generations live together, so you know what's normal and what's, you're used to it. Here, there's nothing like that really. So I didn't know, and then it became more obvious as time went on. So I wasn't depressed, but I went into a bit of a difficult, I was still working and she was at school, but she wasn't talking even by 5. So when we then moved here, and then she went to special school, moved to Hebden Bridge from Leicester. Then she went to special school, and then I had my second child. And then I could see how the normal children, because my second child is neurotypical. So I could see it. Suddenly I was like, oh, of course, I should have known. I didn't know. Quite painful. But also lots of love. And lots of like, she's my child, no one come near her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Have your daughter had a professional help or any type of help?
Yeah, there's lots of help, especially early on. You see speech therapist, physiotherapist, doctor's appointments, paediatricians, MRI scans, people who are early years teachers, they come to your house, and you're going to doctors all the time, ear tests, hearing tests, eye tests, just in case there's something else. But nothing makes a difference because it's developmental. It's like they're just not developing as other children. But in those stages, you think that someone's going to help them, but no help works until but now she's in a special school. She has been since she was 6. So lots of help there. Lots of ways, not so much help to change them, they can't change, but to meet their needs and to make them feel that they can learn in their own way and be who they need to be, but in a positive way. Yeah, nothing can be changed, but it can be supported.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What have you learned from your daughter?
I've learnt that unconditional love exists, and she's like, people sometimes think, oh, you're always with her, it must be really boring for you because I have to do the same things with her. She can't do very many things, but she loves going to the playground, even though she's a big 15-year-old. She loves trains, going on the train journey. She likes eating out. Really simple things, small, like we can't do very much. But what I've learnt is this is enough. Like, you don't have to do big things, shiny things. So when she looks up at a tree and it's blowing in the wind, that's enough. Looking at a river, the water flowing, that's enough. That joy she feels when she's on a swing and she's laughing, that's enough. A lot of people think that you need to have lots of money and do lots of things, and everything has to be new and exciting, but lots of people miss what's here. So with her, I've learned, and she's really nice to hug. She's warm. And she's like my life companion in a way. She won't be, as she grows older, but she's been, just being with her is so nice. That warmth, that sense of belonging. Yeah. I've learned about love.
And what have you learned from your older girl?
Oh my God. I've learned how difficult it is to be a parent to an average child who are changing all the time, because my older one doesn't change. So I just need to know what she likes and we can do more. Younger one, always changing, always new. You have to catch up all the time and you have to learn all the time. And you think you know it, and then you have to adapt. And then they like this, and then they're like that, and then they have friends, and then they fall out, and then they become rude, and then they become really loving, and all these things are changing, and it's just the fascinating world of how humans grow and develop and change, and all the stimulation that they do need, the new things they need, and the extra that they need, and the big things, and it can't all be the same. So I have two very different experiences, and I find the second one a bit harder than the first one.
Wow. How do you feel your role as a mom has been?
I think I've probably hidden behind my children a bit. I find going through life with them really enjoyable, really fun, and I like being with them. Probably maybe too much at the expense of what I need to do for myself, maybe. Probably. But it's just been the nicest experience because my childhood was really we did lots of things, but it's quite unsettling emotionally. And then living with my grandparents and not having my family there, feeling quite abandoned. So I never had that feeling of being part of a family. I didn't have it. So for me, having a family is really important. Having my children's been really important. Having that sense of love and expressing my love to someone has been really important. And I find it some people find being a parent quite challenging and hard because it takes away from them, whereas I found it quite easy because I enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you proud of yourself?
No. I think we are all different. I think it's because it's been it's come quite naturally to me. So you only feel proud, sometimes you feel proud of things that you've worked very hard for and it's been difficult and you've been a challenge. I think the moments when it's very challenging, she'll scratch me, I've got marks all over my face and my hands, and she's pulled my hair out, and I didn't sleep for the first 10 years because she used to wake up for hours. But I've found it that I know how to do it. So I haven't felt pride because it's come from inside. Where the younger one, I'm probably not such a good mother to her because she's really into football. So she does that with her dad. But I don't. So maybe if I did more football with her, I'd feel quite proud. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. How this experience, having two children, one with autism, have changed you as a person?
Oh, I don't so much. I'm not the same person. I used to, so I'm going through a divorce because for 10 years we didn't spend any time together because it's so difficult outside of a family setting to have time with them because you can't find babysitters. My family never looked after her. They don't know how. So I've been very much looking after the older one by myself pretty much. A lot of pressure financially on the family, a lot of pressure emotionally on the family. So you can either look after a child with disabilities or you can dedicate yourself to a relationship. But unless they are, I think it's changed me. I probably should have put myself maybe forward more. I don't know. I've become an artist in the process, and that's something that nobody can take away from me. It doesn't belong to anybody else, it's mine. That I'm proud of. That's one thing I'm really proud of. Changed me because I don't know, I'm so different. I've become calm. I've become warm. I've become much nicer with people. I love talking to people. I love people. I'm really happy. I have so many more friends. I'm so much more relaxed in myself. I'm so much happier in the world. So going through this divorce, I had the amount of friends I've had to help me has completely shocked me. I've had so much goodwill and kindness. Yes, it's changed me from being me and I want to do exciting things to being part of a community and part of friendships and the bonds and love and warmth. So I'm more still. Yeah.
How many hours per day do you spend with your daughter with autism?
So before the divorce, I used to spend, so she goes to school 8 o'clock, comes back at 4, so anything around that I would spend with her, plus weekends, plus holidays. Very rarely I take a few out, but then in the daytime when she's at school I do my artwork. And then if she wakes up at night, she does less before now, but before she'd wake up 2-3 hours most nights, so that as well. But now she's more independent, so even though she needs to be in the house, she's happy to be by herself. So even though you have to be in the house, you have to be with her. So as time's gone on, less intense.
So you can keep her, or she can stay for a couple of minutes by herself.
So if she has the phone, she can be on it for an hour, but she'll be in and out of the kitchen because she likes eating, so you have to just watch. Or if she's chilling in bed because she's a teenager, she might be there for an hour. Yeah, so you don't have to physically. And even in the playground now, she doesn't want to be pushed all the time on the swing. She's quite happy just sitting and chilling.
It's her favorite thing to do in the swing.
Yeah. Whereas before, so it's kind of, when she was younger, it was all the time. Apart from school time, it's very intense. But as years have gone on, she's grown up, it's less intense. Yeah.
What have you learned from life in general? In general.
Don't know. I think I've learnt that childhood things can have a much bigger impact on you than you realise.
Definitely.
And that you can carry the wounds. So my need to belong, of not belonging to a family in a home, so when I had my daughter, being with her made me feel like I'd come home, because that's what I was missing. But maybe it's not always. So I became, I don't know, it's ongoing, isn't it? Certain times of life you learn some things and you learn other things. I've lost lots, I've lost my sense of adventure and that craving for new experiences. I don't really have it. But what I've gained is kindness and warmth and love and connection and appreciation of other people and the goodness in other people and the fascination in other people. Everyone is interesting. Speak to people and everyone is interesting.
I know it. Would you change something of your life?
Maybe emotionally I would have been braver. Maybe this divorce talking, I would have not felt that I had to be a certain way because I didn't have the financial power. I think I would have been braver to say I'm not happy, or instead of worrying that I would lose a family and a home, maybe I clung on to that too much, so maybe I could have been braver to be more honest and emotionally brave. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Saima. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you for this lovely interview, and wish you the best.
My new
It
life
will be like that. Yeah. Thank you everyone to join us this interview. Take whatever you need from this, and see you in the next interview. Bye bye.